In the heart of Africa, nestled amidst the swaying palms and lush greenery, lay the village of Uzoma. A place where laughter once echoed through the narrow pathways, where children played freely under the watchful eyes of elders, and where the rhythm of life flowed like the steady beat of a drum. But the tranquility of Uzoma shattered one fateful day when the whispers of terror swept through the village like a raging wildfire. Ataku, a spirited young woman with eyes that sparkled like the morning dew, heard the hushed conversations among the elders as they gathered beneath the ancient baobab tree. "We must flee," one elder murmured, his voice heavy with fear. "But where can we go?" another questioned, his brow furrowed with worry. Ataku listened intently, her heart pounding in her chest like the distant thunder heralding an approaching storm. She knew that whatever danger loomed on the horizon, they must face it together as a community. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting long shadows across the village, Ataku gathered her courage and addressed the gathering crowd. "We cannot let fear dictate our fate," she proclaimed, her voice ringing out with determination. "We will stand together and face whatever challenges come our way." The villagers nodded in agreement, their faces a mixture of resolve and uncertainty. With each passing day, the threat grew more imminent, until one dawn, the village was engulfed in chaos as the dreaded slavers descended upon them like a swarm of locusts. Ataku watched in horror as her people were torn from their homes, their cries of anguish echoing through the air like a haunting melody. Families were ripped apart, mothers torn from their children, fathers shackled and forced to march alongside their brothers in chains. "We are going to the river," Ataku whispered, her voice barely audible above the clamor of chaos. "We must find a way to escape." With grim determination, Ataku led a small band of survivors through the dense jungle, their footsteps muffled by the rustling leaves and the distant cries of their captors fading into the distance. But their journey was far from over, for ahead lay the treacherous waters of the river, their only hope for freedom. As they reached the riverbank, Ataku gazed across the churning waters, her heart heavy with uncertainty. But she knew that they had come too far to turn back now. "We must build a bridge," she declared, her voice ringing out with conviction. A bridge to freedom. And so, with sweat on their brows and determination in their hearts, the villagers set to work, gathering fallen trees and sturdy vines to construct a bridge across the rushing waters. Days turned into weeks as they toiled under the scorching sun, their hands raw and blistered, but their spirits unbroken. At last, the bridge stood tall and proud, a testament to the resilience of the human spirit. With bated breath, Ataku and her companions stepped onto the swaying structure, their hearts pounding in their chests as they took their first tentative steps towards freedom. But their journey was far from over, for as they reached the halfway point, they were met with a wall of resistance unlike anything they had ever faced before. The slavers had caught wind of their escape and now stood poised to strike, their weapons gleaming in the harsh light of the sun. "We cannot turn back now," Ataku whispered, her voice barely audible above the roar of the river below. "We must press on, no matter the cost." And so, with courage in their hearts and defiance in their eyes, Ataku and her companions pressed forward, their feet pounding against the wooden planks as they raced towards the other side. Arrows whistled through the air like angry hornets, but still they pressed on, their determination unyielding. At last, they reached the safety of the far bank, their bodies bruised and battered, but their spirits soaring with triumph. Behind them, the bridge stood as a silent witness to their struggle, a bridge of no return, a bridge to freedom. As they gathered on the opposite shore, Ataku looked back at the village they had left behind, a tear glistening in her eye. Though their journey had been fraught with danger and despair, they had emerged victorious, their spirits unbroken, their resolve unwavering. "We may have lost our homes," Ataku whispered, her voice barely audible above the rushing waters, "but we have not lost our hope. As long as we stand together, we can overcome any obstacle that stands in our way." And with that, Ataku and her companions turned their backs on the past and marched boldly into the unknown, their hearts filled with the promise of a brighter tomorrow, their spirits as unyielding as the currents that flowed beneath the bridge of no return.